Thursday afternoon, and I am coming to you live from New York. It's exactly 2 o'clock, and my name is Mary Amy, and I'm here for Signs of Light. I'm so excited to be here today. Now, on today's show, we have guest Mujin Choi, and he's a telepathic healer, and he will be joining us. This is Mujin. He's also right here. He's a friend of mine. I've known Mujin since 2013, and we've worked together, and I've had personal experiences with him for many years. And so he will be joining us. We are also going to cover topics like electromagnetic fields and radio alien contact. Of course, I'll be giving a visualization. Now, before we get to that, I have a disclaimer. I am not a medical professional. I give healing suggestions to inner peace and personal serenity. My holistic modalities include, I'm an intuitive wisdom coach, a Reiki master, and an ordained minister. And I say bright light shines on us. Every thought is very powerful, and we are all part of a whole. My pain is your pain, and your pain is mine. Karma is a cycle of cause and effect. Now, the sacred knowledge I impart on you is to connect to a light source, engage with nature, and record your sleeping dreams for the universe to guide you on your ultimate destiny. I see on the horizon light, which is beyond our sight. That means that we have hope and a difficult situation will improve. Activation of our unconscious source of light begins the grand awakening. Tap into your own DNA for the true version of yourself. Okay. Today's guest, Mujin Choi, is a telepathic healer. He is a well-known frequency, energy, sound healer and chakra master. What exactly is a healer? A healer is a person who performs distant or remote healing in person. He telepathically transmits energy to the person, the patient. Now, a quote by Marcy Barron from Mindfulness, she says, energy healing is a holistic practice that activates the body's subtle energy system to remove blocks. By breaking through these energetic blocks, the body's inherent ability to heal itself is stimulated. All right, so let's give him a call right now. He asked me to call him because he just didn't want to kind of cut off the intro. So we're going to give him a call right now, and you can meet him. Mujin. Hello? Hi. How are you?
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's raining here. Thunderstorm. We have a lot of storm in Arizona. It's, Tucson. Our temperature, average temperature is 85 now. What happened to 120 degrees? Something is happening here.
Oh my goodness. Was it ever 120 degrees since you've been living there, Mujin?
Yeah, 10 times. More than that. It's like last year, this time, it's about 110. But now it's 85. Something is going on here.
Something's always going on with you. So, Mujin, what's been going on since we last chatted? I know that you... What?
For me, same old. I went to the UFO convention.
You did? You went to the UFO convention? Tell us about it.
Well, I did okay. There wasn't a lot of people, but there are people like me, crazy people.
So you call yourself crazy because you go around healing people? I think you're a compassionate person.
Well, I don't know, but UFO people, they said, because they talk about aliens. But I was there healing people, and I showed them my palm that has Arcturian face.
Mm-hmm.
And I was healing, and one lady was there, and she saw alien when I was healing next to me.
Oh, really?
She saw blue raven.
Oh, she saw the blue light beings.
Yeah, and no, she said it was a raven,
Ravian, I haven't heard of that
Yeah,
yet.
the bird people, blue bird people.
What did they have a message for her?
No, she just, the avian was next to me healing my patient with me, and she saw it.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know, I met some good people. You know, as soon as I get there, one guy.
Yeah.
He's from Sedona, you know, and he had his UFO show on July 2nd. He invited everybody but me.
Listen, you meet this guy and he invites everybody but you?
Yeah, what the heck is going on here, you know?
You are so funny. Did you meet anyone who had any alien encounters or alien abduction?
Well, you know, there are people selling books, and there are a lot of people with the alien accounts, but they don't have a video. I had like 10, 20 video of UFO following me, interacting with me. I showed them, but nobody had a video.
Okay, how come I have not seen this video? When are you sharing it with us? And I'll show our viewers.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah, I send it.
Send it when we get off. Please send it, and I will show it to everyone during this stream.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'll send it to you. But they had no video of UFO, but I had, you know, a lot of video of UFO. I had them, you know.
When did you get videos of UFO? Where did you see UFOs?
All around. I told you, it's all around me here. I see, you know, UFO maybe once a week, you know, around my house, top of me, moving around. I'm so used to it, it's no big deal. I go, I see, oh, it's there, you know.
What is it? What do the UFOs look like, Mujin?
It's a star. You know, when you at night you see a star, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a star. That's not a star. That's starship.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the video of that starship following me, interacting with me. You know, I got quite a few, so I sent it to you.
Wow, I had no idea. When you say a starship, do you mean that it's is it just light, or you're saying that there's actually matter? Remember I told you just now, when you look at the sky at night, you see a stars, right? Bright star. Yeah.
Half of them are not the star. Half of them are a light ship, starship. You know.
Do do you see them coming down? Have they tried to make contact with you?
Well, you know, about 5 years ago, about 6 years ago, I was at Florida. Florida, and I was at the Florida. I went to Colorado. No, I was at the Florida, and I was with this girl. I pick her up, and we were doing healing, and we're eating at this place, my friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just joking. I said, the bluebeams are kind of slow.
Wait, what do you mean they're kind of slow?
I totally was joking, they're slow. They're slow.
They're not advanced.
No, that's not it. They're just slow at reacting, because I have no patience. I have no patience, so everything I do is really fast.
Yeah.
And I was just joking, because they're the one who's helping me healing. I get their energy from them. I said they're kind of slow. Then this girl, she's a kind of psychic. After lunch, she took her outside. She was walking, then she see things, and she saw a spaceship,
mm-hmm.
and two being came down. She saw they just came down, and she was in front of them, and she told me they're like 10 feet tall, and and the alien told her, tell Mujin that we are not slow, and they just zapped her. And she came in here, and she came into the house, goes, Mujin, they zapped something in my butt. I go, let me see. And she showed me a star system. I have a picture here. I sent it to you. And they zapped her. And there was a star system, Since then, they're following me. They're following me through Denver. Everywhere I go, they're there. I have the pictures.
You have to send us these videos so I can show our viewers and everyone who's watching, because it sounds very dramatic. It sounds very...
Yeah, it is, but I'm so used to it. No, you know, I live here in a little guest house, and there's a landlord.
Yeah.
And as soon as I show him, you know, about 6 months ago, we're outside right after barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 6, 7 o'clock, and the stars start coming out, and I had feelings that stars gonna move, and there was 2 stars in the sky. One star was moving away from one another star, and I showed him, look. He was watching. I go, oh my God! And I saw, look at another star over there. The stars are moving. Imagine, I had that recording, the video, so I show you. Stars are moving. Then after that, 2-3 months later,
mm-hmm.
the whole family was driving through this desert field at night, about 9 o'clock, mm-hmm. and they saw a UFO coming from the desert field, and they're following them. Mm-hmm. Because you saw them, now you're connected. Mm-hmm. You know, so there are a lot of activities around here. When I'm here, there are a lot of activities here. You know, when I was in Durango, Colorado, there were a lot of activities. I don't know if you remember, 2-3 years ago, that Durango had a fire. Mm-hmm. Remember that mountain fire in Colorado, big fire? Mm-hmm. And instead of the firemen came down, federal agent came down. Like 300-400 federal agent came down. And that's the area I took the picture of UFO interacting with me. And a week later, they said they had a fire. So nobody could go up there. But they're like, instead of firemen, there are federal agents up there. So I know something is going on. You know? So there are a lot of activities when I'm around.
Mujin, do you sense that these aliens are benevolent? They're not a threat to us.
No, the alien that I deal with, they're not threat. They will help us. They're blue, you know, aliens that I deal with.
They're protecting humanity?
Well, I don't know they're protecting, but they're helping me. I don't know, a lot of people getting hurt lately. I don't know if they're protecting the earth.
Yeah.
Maybe they are, but maybe they are, you know. I don't know, but I know they're working with me. That's that thing that I know.
When the aliens work with you and when you do a healing, are you? I know that we've talked how you aren't really. You're not intuitive. You're not an empath. But you do know that what you're doing is healing, and it has healing energy. Can you see, you know, or sense what, you know, how the energy comes through?
I do a lot of healing a day. I do like 15 to 20 people. Sometimes I get tired, then I rest, and I don't pay attention. Then yeah. Sometimes I look outside because I'm so tired. I look at the TV, then yeah. Phone gets shut off.
But what I'm trying to ask is, can you tell the difference? Did you ever do a healing that they weren't involved, or is it?
No, every time I told you it's their energy, so they're involved 120%. It's their energy that I'm using. The healing energy is from them. So every time I do the healing, it's coming from them through me. Mm. So they're always involved all the time.
Are you working on remote healings telepathically, or you do the in person, or you do both?
Well, you know, when I go to the show, I do it in person. So somehow, if I do this healing in person, I could heal almost anything in 5 minutes in person.
Like, what do you heal? What are some kind of? Are there chronic illnesses, ailments?
Yeah, mostly, you know. Sciatica. Everybody has a sciatica, I notice. Almost everybody. So it's mostly, I treat, you know, Alzheimer's and dementia. So But when I do this, it's mostly knee pain, back pain, sciatica, headache, that noise in your ear.
Tinnitus.
Yeah, tinnitus. Yeah. So
when you say that you heal dementia, what do you mean you heal? You mean people's memory comes back, or does it?
No, they feel clear.
They feel clear
in their head, clear. That's what they feel clear, But now, and it seems like I like to go to a UFO convention because people are a lot, open. So I'm going another one, August 26th in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So there's UFO convention there, and I'm going another one in September, International UF Conference, and I'm going another one in November. I'm just gonna keep going. 1 year, I'm just gonna go to UFO convention. I get paid better.
So what kind of they pay better? What kind of unexplained? Have you been present for any unexplainable events? It sounds like you on a daily basis during your healings you are, but other than the healings, are you present during some supernatural events?
Yeah, that's what the patient told me, somehow, when they send me a message, they go, hey, thanks for healing. I go, what? What healing? You were here last night with the blue beings. Oh yeah? I didn't know. I go, yeah, you were healing me and everything. Things like that, and I don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got so much stuff going on, supernatural, I forgot now. Every day I'm doing healing and something happens,
I remember the time that you were staying in this this location that was empty to sleep there, and you would tell me how the spiders would line up in front of you.
Oh yeah, remember I told you I got bitten by black widow. After that, when I go to camping, when I wake, I sleep in the van, and when I wake up, like 4 or 5 spiders, the dashboard just looking at me, the huge ones, just looking at me. So I think that somehow when I got bitten, they noticed either the energy or smell that I generate from my body or something. But I attract a lot of spiders now.
Last week I had a guest, and he was a ghost hunter, and he would go in and he was the leader of a paranormal group, and they would help clear space. And I had an experience with you when we were part of a paranormal group back in 2014, and it was a haunted house, and we went in there together with some other members of the team, and you basically sent your energy sent away and cleared out the house. Have you had any other similar incidents?
Oh yeah, I get calls, for clearing, when I was in Colorado, I was in Denver, lady came from Colorado Spring and asked me to clear the house.
Mm-hmm.
They feel, entity. I said, go home, and they'll be gone. So they went. If they're gone, I just sent telepathic message, you better leave now. That's what I said in my mind. They left.
Really?
But, I deal with a lot of entity attached to their illnesses. I used to do this lady with the entity attached to her breast tumor,
mm-hmm.
And
how's she doing? I know you told me about her.
I'm not doing her now because her son is against what I'm doing, but she's still living. But man, when you look at her, you could tell right away there's a entity attached to her. My God, I go, okay.
Do you think these entities that are attached are karmic debt What do you think that, why do entities attach themselves to these patients of
Well, I
yours?
don't know, but you know, remember half of the illnesses are entity illness. Let's say the half of the healing I do is 50% is entity illness. And like when you go to the hospital, you're sick and doctor doesn't know what's wrong with you. Doctor think you're normal, healthy, but you got sickness. Those are entity.
How do you know that, Mujin?
Well, as soon as I make the sound, the heaviness and the pain moves to her spine. I mean, moves to the patient's spine and highs on, you know, when I do healing, the patient says, oh, it's moving. You go, oh my God, it's moving to my spine. As soon as it's moving, that means it's entity. If you're in pain and you're, you know, you should start to moving around your body, going to the, you know, the spine, especially when it hides behind the spine, it is entity.
Have you seen more of these entities since COVID? Has COVID brought on different healing, like a different awareness to your healing?
I don't know, but you know, I don't know. I don't know, but I do an entity. I did yesterday entity healing on this gentleman. Now it's gone. You know, just telling you, there's a weak entity and there's a strong entity. Strong entity are gone and come back strong and make more problem.
Really?
And you do it again, they come back a little less. You do it again, they come back a little less. You know, but not entities are same.
This is the first time that you've told. I never knew this. I was not. Maybe we haven't really discussed your healings lately, but I know that you're really in depth with your abilities and awareness to what is actually going on with your patients, and I did not know this.
Yeah, so 50% of the problem is entity. So 50% of people who calls me and they don't know is entity problem. The entity give them hard time breathing, the deep chest pain, you know, heavy chest pain. Yes, it is entity.
But see, I was under the belief that most entities remain in a time and space location. I didn't know that they travel along with someone throughout their day.
That they're in their body. So sometimes if I cannot get rid of them, I told them to come to my body. I said, come to me, I said 3 times, and they come to me. And they stay in my stomach for a while. And they cannot handle light, you know, light energy, the frequency. I do this all day, they disappear. When I say come to me, they come to me, but it's a trap. They go, okay, I'm going to come to you. They go, oh my God, I'm in this guy's stomach. We can't get out. And as soon as they come to my stomach, I could see my stomach moving around. Just like, you know, those movies, like something wants to come out.
You're so kooky.
I say, come to me, baby.
The conversations we have, oh my gosh. And if I hadn't experienced some of your healings in person when you were helping patients who had tumors, I wouldn't believe it. Have you been having any cancer patients recently?
Oh yeah, I do cancer patients all the time. All my 50% of healing is cancer, blood cancer, a tumor. This morning, I just did a cancer on the stomach, cancer on the wounds, and I've been doing it for 2 months. Now she feels there's no more cancer. She told me today, there's nothing there. It's not moving. I feel like normal. So I do another cancer page. I do blood. I do a lot of blood cancer. I'm very good with blood. So I do this African girl. She has blood disease, Armenia. Is it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sickle cell. She's supposed to die last August, and she's still alive. Mm-hmm. you know.
Mm-hmm.
But because of Corona, I couldn't reach her, so her condition got really bad and had this infection again. I made that infection disappear, but because I couldn't hold of her for about a week, came back, so I was doing it every day for another, like, you know, I thought she's gonna die, but now she's become normal again, you know, feels better, you know, so so I do another, I forgot now, I every day I do a cancer patient. I do this girl, she's supposed to be dead 4 years ago, but I've been doing it like once a day, once 3-4 times a week for 4 years now. 4 years I've been doing this to this lady, I mean girl. So she's still alive.
When you work with someone, like you mentioned before, you spoke about this woman with the cancer, and they have an entity, and you say that it's their less, their power isn't very strong, or it's less than some other entities' powers.
Yeah,
when you do that, aren't you notifying them, and then they come on stronger? I mean, isn't it?
Well, this lady has a tumor entity stuck on her breast tumor.
Mm-hmm.
So if I send energy, she feels better. But if I start shooting laser into that tumor, they come out like, you know, they come out making this, you know, wolf sound, growling and making all different, talking different language, screaming. This lady, the entity is worse than that movie Exorcist. They're like 10 times worse.
And you hear that. You hear that.
Oh my God! So the entity is attached to the tumor. So when I shoot a laser light from my third eye, I shoot them, and they get weak and they scream. Every time I shoot them, they scream. They feel pain. You know, that's how I get up. You know, this kind of entity. So I keep shooting them, and she goes, I feel better. Then she calls me an hour later. I'm in the hospital. I go, why? Because when you shoot them, I feel better, but they're attacking her heart.
Oh my gosh.
So I gotta stop shooting. If I shoot them, they're gonna take her with her. So so I have to stop shooting laser into that, you know, tumor. I just send energy, so it just feels better, keep her alive. If I go, I'm gonna shoot some laser, she will die. So.
Mujin, do you feel that? Why do you do this? What is this your mission? What is your explanation for all of this?
It's not my mission.
It's
I
relentless.
gotta make a living.
But if you could make an easier living, Mujin.
It could be my mission, but what do you do when you have this healing gift? You need to use it, right?
Yes.
So I'm using it anywhere, anytime, any kind of issue. And also, I gotta make a living, right?
Yes.
So that's why I'm doing it. I don't know. So I just keep doing it, you know.
I commend
because
you.
You have this power, then you gotta use it.
And you mentioned on our last conversation that you believe that you received these abilities when you were at home watching TV. Would you like to share that story?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching TV with my daughter, and all suddenly, you know, that electrical storm in movie Terminator, when they come through the portal, you know, you see the electrical storm. It just happened around midnight, and all the light went out, the power just went out, and I was walking, going up to my second floor, watching it from window. Then all of a sudden, this light shining at my garage, and I was looking. I go, what? Who's flying? You know, some kind of helicopter top of my house on midnight. Then as soon as I saw that light coming from, I saw a spaceship. As soon as I saw them, they didn't fly away. They just disappeared. You know, like going to different dimension. I see the ship just disappear like more thin line and just disappear. So they travel by dimension, not by flying. When you see this UFO flying around, mostly this UFO flying all around is a man-made. You know, but me, when you see shape, like angle shape of UFO, those are man-made. The real alien, they you know.
Wait, what do you mean UFO man-made? What are you referring to?
You know, the angle shape. That UFO is angle, like if they have a
there's triangles. Is that what you're
triangle, hexagon.
Those aren't real. Those aren't real.
Angle,
those aren't
man-made.
So there's man-made UFOs that can travel at instantaneous speeds, or
No, I mean I don't know, but my friends, my blueprint, they travel through light ship or starship,
oh, I see.
and they disappear in thin air. They don't fly around. The flying around is kind of for amateur.
So
It is. They travel through dimensions.
they travel through dimensions.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
I can remember, Mujin. We contacted each other. I was looking for a healer, and for a show that I was working on, and you came to visit. I picked you up at the airport, and I hadn't met you, and literally every single technological gadget in my car stopped working.
Yes.
Yes, and it's happened to me more than once, because when I did the radio show 3 years ago, I had you as my guest, and again, every single computer, TV, anything in my cell phone, nothing worked. And I've been watching some of these reality shows or TV shows, and they talk about like Skinwalker Ranch, and they talk about paranormal, and how the gadgets start acting all funny and out of control. And I have to say, that's what happens in your presence. Have you had any of your friends or clients have the same experience with you?
Yes.
What do they say? You break everything.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they said that, especially I was driving and I got really mad, and we had an argument with my friend, and he was driving. We parked the car side of the highway, and I was screaming, and everything went dead when I screamed.
You scream?
I go, wow! I got screamed really loud, and everything went dead, everything. So,
You still have an impact on technology.
Yes. So, I'm going to another UFO show coming up on August. I'm going to Tesla convention in Sheraton, the Crown Hotel in New Mexico in July, I think 12 to 16. Tesla convention using frequency, energy, vibration.
And why are you going to that? Just for work?
Well, I never went to the show, so I want them to know that I use the frequency and alien technology to heal people. So that's why I'm going there. All the scientists will be there, engineer and scientists. So they're going to see the real thing.
Mujin, have you been paying attention to the news and these UAPs, UFOs, and the report that came out June 25th about UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon?
Well, they already know. They're acting like, oh my God.
I can't hear you. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. And they already know already knows. The government already knows?
They're just pretending here. They're pretending. Oh, yeah. They already know. Of course, government already knows. They're just pretending. Yeah, we're going to hear. I was laughing at them,
Yeah. You're laughing at them because they're but do you think maybe that's because they're preventing some kind of terror and and disbelief from us? You know, are we going to be in shock if we find out what's really going on?
No, that they're going to slowly give us this information. Slowly. There's more information. So when fake UFO invasion, if that happens, then people are not going to be shocked. They're going to say, oh, okay. You know, if that happens.
If that happens.
Yeah.
Do you have a prediction of how long it's going to take before they...
I told you I don't have the gift. If I find, no, I probably, but they don't give me the psychic ability. They just give me healing. And healing ability. But sometimes they give me the psychic ability. One lady, the whole family went to apple picking in Michigan.
Uh-huh.
You know, and their parents, their mother, wandering around, and she got lost, and they called. I was at this church. I went to this church because I know this pastor. Mm-hmm. I'm not a Christian, but I just know I went there, and we had a lunch together. And the pastor wife came to us, but let's pray because one of our members got lost. We need to find her. So as I closed my eye, I saw her. I saw her right sitting next to a river. Mm-hmm. And with a huge rock, white rock, and she called the state police. Goes, yeah, she's next to the river. He goes, yes, just 15 minutes away, there's a river. And when they went there, they found her sitting down next to a huge white garbage can.
Wow.
So I get this kind of, you know, fiction.
Random. It's random.
Not random, but when you really need it.
When you really need it.
Yeah, I get, yes. But I don't do it. I don't get this every day.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you do get something every day because you're using your abilities to help people, and I know that it's not easy what you're doing because it can be really difficult and trying and take a lot of your energy away. I remember I had hives, and you did a remote healing on me, and then you got the hives.
Yeah, now I don't get those because my God. Yeah. But now I remember you at the beach, New York Beach, and you say you got hive is coming. I did it. I could feel it coming to my arm, and as soon as it happened, I went to the, restroom. I was washing my arm with the salt and just disappear.
Yeah, the salt does it. And Mujin and I just want to say, Mujin and I had done a docudrama called Earth Healer's Walk, and we showed his abilities, and I think you can find that online. You can find that on my YouTube page, Earth Healer's Walk. And do you have plans? I know you're going to more UFO conventions. Do you have plans for... you said last time that you were going to do some traveling. Can people be looking?
Yeah, I got a plan. I'm going to the Indian reservation in Arizona. And there's a big market. I could heal them. I could heal the natives there.
Have you been healing Indians before?
Yeah, at the Dakota pipeline protest. Remember, I was there, went to jail for 1 month.
Yeah, I remember that very well.
Yeah.
That was like 2017, I think.
I don't remember, yes, but yeah, I treat a lot of natives there, but yeah, I'm trying to go there and just maybe stay there and heal a lot of natives. That's my plan now. Mm-hmm. If I could get RV, mm-hmm. It's better. Mm-hmm. Motorhome.
You're a traveling healer. I think it's wonderful. I think it's beautiful because I've been connecting, because I've been doing this stream, I've been spending more time connecting with all kinds of, supernatural individuals, either psychic or an angelic channeler, or you're my healer. I have a shaman coming on next week. I've had a UAP expert. I've had a Bigfoot expert. Have you ever seen Bigfoot, or do you know anything about Bigfoot, Mujin?
Oh, no. I didn't see Bigfoot.
Oh, here's a question for you from the chat. Does Mujin have a dream with aliens? Because I do. Do you ever dream?
I don't dream.
Come on, we all dream. Yes, you just have to say, oh, tomorrow morning I'd like to dream.
I asked blue beings, don't give me any dreams, because they give me a dream, I can't go to sleep. It's too wild. So I don't dream at all. I don't dream.
Okay.
I don't want to.
So the answer is you don't dream with aliens. You don't have to dream because you're actually meeting them in person. Have you ever seen an alien? Okay, when you've seen these spaceships that follow you, are you seeing them in your third eye? Are you seeing them when you close your eyes? You're seeing them in person, like they're actual, tangible.
No, I see them as a blue light. I see blue light often, blue lights.
Right.
Yeah, I see them as a blue light. And people tell me, oh, there's somebody next to you. When I go to psychic show, UF shows, I see two blue beings standing next to you.
So
I don't know if I told you. Remember in New York, I went to Spanish Harlem in New York. I was walking around, and this lady from Venezuela. And she's a black lady she's from Venezuela. She's kind of crazy, and she was screaming at me. And I go, hey, why are you screaming at me? He goes, I am not screaming at you. I am screaming at two blue guys next to you.
That story never gets old, Mujin. Do you have any others like that? That's you don't realize that your personality, you're so quirky. And I know that you're a good soul because I've known you for long enough, and I know that you always follow through. Do you still get up at 5 a.m. every morning?
No, now I get up at 4 a.m.
What? Why? What?
I'm getting old.
What time do you go to sleep?
I go to sleep at 9. I only 6 hours. That's why I sleep. But now I get up at 4 now because I gotta heal people in England, Korea, some other country, and because of time difference, I gotta wake up at 4. Then I go to sleep at 9. So I do this from 4 a.m. through 9 p.m. How many hours is that? My God.
4 p.m. Yeah, I know. You just are nonstop. And so now you're doing the sound healing. You're not spinning your hands. Because, I got my healing technique is spinning my hands like you had taught me originally.
Yeah.
No, you don't do that. You do sound. Can you demonstrate?
No, I do sound. No, it depends on the person. I do a sound and I send energy. They say, oh, I like the sound better than I make the sound. Some patients say, I like the energy better, sending energy better than I send energy. So it depends on the patient.
Mujin, can you do some sound healing so we can all experience it? Because I've been learning all about there's angelic language, angel language. There's also light language. Can you share with us what your healings sound like?
Like this, here you go.
I got that, and I remember you used to play music, and you've changed. You moved on from that. You did some background music, and that takes a lot out of you. How long do you do that healing for? That's with you're blowing out air, aren't you?
Yeah, I do make this sound for 30 minutes non-stop. So which means I make the sound every second. So 60 seconds I do the. So 60 seconds I do 60 times. So imagine doing that for 1,800 sound.
No. No.
Yes.
No, I can't. Because when I do a healing, it's 15 minutes. I do Reiki, because I'm a Reiki master, and I do a light healing. And I actually get, an intuitive reading, like a vision of the person. Yes. I've never done I wouldn't even try to tap into you and try to do a reading on you,
Yeah,
Mujin.
I know That's why I get so tired, because, you know, non-stop 60 minutes, I make this sound 1,800 times. Imagine that. Every time. So I do this every 30 minutes, all day.
Wow.
I have a patient every 30 minutes, so I do this all day. I have a patient coming up now, so I gotta go.
Okay, well, it was a pleasure having you. So let's just tell everyone that they can find you. The best place to find you is on Facebook. And what does it say? It says Mujin Choi.
Mujin Choi with Superman with the Korean flag.
And it says Telepathic Healer. You are Superman.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that we're friends. And I submitted our documentary for a film festival, so maybe we'll get it for a docu-short. Cross your fingers.
Yes.
And
we should make another one, maybe later.
Yeah, maybe we'll do another. I think we should. It's about time we do another one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Mujin, be well. Thank you.
Okay,
You're
bye-bye.
awesome.
Bye.
Bye. Now he's going to forget. You got to send me the video. Don't forget.
Okay.
Okay, bye. He's a funny guy, isn't he? He's a real funny guy. In a good way. No, he's a really good egg. And I know it sounds like, woo, his stories, but look, what's happening right now in the world. Who knows what's really going on, and having a higher, he definitely has some kind of higher consciousness and a higher vibration. But what he does is valid. It does work. So I appreciate him, and you can find him on Facebook. His Facebook, I'm just going to write it in the chat, because if you would like, he has, I don't know, 5,000 followers, and he does work with Starseed, Palladian, Andromedan, Arcturian, Syrian. Okay, so moving on, we're going to get into, like I said, we're going to talk about electromagnetic fields, alien contact. Of course, I'm going to touch on angels, and I will be doing a visualization. Okay, electromagnetic fields. So what exactly is that? So an electromagnetic field, this is what it looks like. Here's some diagrams. So an electromagnetic field, an EM field, is a classical field produced by accelerating electric charges. The electric field is produced by stationary charges, and the magnetic field by moving charges, currents. And these two are often described as sources of the field. So an electromagnetic fields are a combination of invisible electric and magnetic fields of force. They are generated by natural phenomena like the Earth's magnetic field, but also by human activities, mainly through the use of electricity, like mobile phones, power lines, computer screens are examples of equipment that generate electromagnetic fields. Most man-made electromagnetic fields reverse the direction at regular intervals of time, ranging from high radio frequencies, mobile phones, through intermediate frequencies, computer screens, and to extremely low frequency power lines. The term static refers to fields that do not vary with time, i.e., with a frequency of 0 Hz. Static magnetic fields are used in medical imaging and generated by appliances using direct current. Now, why am I bringing this up? And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm finding out that some of these myths and legends, like for example, we talk about UAPs, and then they talk about the electromagnetic field, and they talk about the electromagnetic field gives off radiation, and if you have an alien encounter, you should stay away from the spaceship if you ever do, because you will get burns. And they also refer to electromagnetic fields, like I just mentioned, in our phones and our computers. And I don't know, I just felt that I also wanted to touch on it, because I'm kind of delving into different subjects. Like I'm going to get onto radio contact with aliens, and where did that start? And I've mentioned sightings and encounters with UAPs and UFOs, but I've never really gotten down to, besides alien abductions and alien encounters, what about radio contact? And there has been organizations in the government that have been working on that. Now I'll get on to, I'm going to talk about that so that you understand where I'm coming from. And this is pretty fascinating stuff. Now I have some aliens that we've been talking about lately, starseed aliens, which Mujin mentioned. I believe that's what he's referring to. And those are from a higher consciousness, that you connect with a starseed alien, which is blue, like an Andromedan and Archerian. But the Palladians are what I think he's talking about when he's saying the 10-foot tall. Those are Nordic aliens. Are you still with me? So these actually are what, we've seen throughout literature, we've heard from, and we've seen in movies and TV shows, and these are gray aliens. And I'm just sharing that so that you kind of have an idea. When we talk about extraterrestrial, we say, like, are we going to make contact with extraterrestrials? So alien contact. The impact of extraterrestrial contact depends fully on the message and humanity's response. Hypothetically, contact could affect human civilization based on alien technology advancement and the degree of benevolence or aggression towards humanity. So I looked into some different areas in the government that have had programs related to alien contact. Now, the first one came out in the 1970s, believe it or not, and that was Project Cyclops. So that was from NASA in the 1970s, and they investigated and searched for signals from intelligent extraterrestrial sources. Now, there's a classification of interstellar radio messages, and there are 12 realized RM projects. The Morse message, which is in the 1962, and I'm going to butcher some words, so bear with me. The Arecibo message in 1974, which was one transmission to Messler. The Cosmic Call, which was in 1999, 4 transmissions to nearby sun-like stars. So these are radio transmissions that we've sent out to other galaxies or other planets to try to get a response from alien technology or alien extraterrestrials. Teenage Message 2001, which was 6 transmissions. Cosmic Call in 2003, which was live transmissions. A Message from Earth in 2008, 1 transmission to Jalise planetary system. Across the Universe in 2008, Hello from Earth, 1 transmission. Wow, which I have a copy of that. And so on. And so Project Cyclops is a 1971 NASA project that investigated how SETI should be conducted. As a NASA product, the report is in the public domain. The project team created a design for coordinating large numbers of radio telescopes to search for Earth-like radio signals at a distance up to 1,000 light years to find intelligent life. The proposed design was shelved due to costs. However, the report became the basis for much of the SETI work to follow. The next project that was formed was called Messaging to Extraterrestrial Intelligence. Messaging to Extraterrestrial Intelligence, METI, the funding eventually ended and private donations were necessary. And that was in is a branch of study concerned with constructing and broadcasting a message towards habitable planets. Since the Arecibo message of 1974, the handful of METI broadcasts have increased to content and complexity, but the lacks of established protocol has produced unorganized or cryptic messages that could be difficult to interpret. Here we outline the development of self-consistent protocol for messaging to extraterrestrial intelligence. The next project was called SETI Live Project in the European Space Agency in 2006 was searching for XXO planets. The fourth one was STI Live Project in 2012, and it analyzed data for possible alien signals. The next was 7DIP, and it was a search for extraterrestrial visible emissions from nearby developed intelligent populations at the University of California, and using the regions of the electromagnetic signals. Now, what are the consequences of alien contact? What are the consequences? Well, the consequences would be, hold on, I'm just trying to pull up a picture. The impact of alien communication depends largely on the message, whether a threat or friendly. Scientists and governments have been evaluating possible scenarios. Here's some possible scenarios. An extraterrestrial civilization needs the Earth to survive and destroys human civilization. That sounds like the theme, the plot in a movie. Aliens intervene with Earthlings to prevent humanity from destroying itself. Well, that sounds good. Aliens reach out to Earth to advance our civilization. That's nice as well. Another, our response as humans may be an experience of great shock and terror upon their arrival. Those with religious beliefs could be severely impacted because the apparent contradictory views of their religion. So that's something to give you thoughts about. So humans' first contact with aliens is likely to be with a civilization much more technologically advanced than ours. According to a new NASA-funded study into the search for intelligent extraterrestrial life, according to the paper published specialized journal, the easiest way to detect extraterrestrial civilizations is by searching for techno-signatures, evidence for the use of technology or industrial activity in other parts of the universe. Techno-signatures, many of which are based on how Earth might look now or in the past or the future to alien onlookers, include radio signals, which is what we've talked about, the projects that the governments have put together, the 5 projects I just mentioned, the presence of industrial pollution to the atmosphere of the planet, large swarms of satellites around a planet, gigantic space engineering around exoplanets such as heat shields, crash sites on the moon or Mars. So those are some examples of we might be able to find a presence of extraterrestrials. The Declaration of Principles contains the following broad provisions. Any person or organization detecting a signal should try, this is if you hear a radio signal or if someone's had a radio signal from an extraterrestrial. Any person or organization detecting a signal should try to verify that it is likely to be of intelligent origin before announcing it. The discoverer of a signal should, for the purposes of independent verification, communicate with other signatories of the declaration before making a public announcement, and should also inform their national authorities. Once a given astronomical observation has been determined to be credible extraterrestrial signal, the astronomical community should be informed through the Central Bureau of Astronomical Telegrams. Wow, this is official. So if you hear something, you have to check to make sure it's real, of real intelligent origin, and then contact the authorities. Should evidence for extraterrestrial intelligence take the form of electromagnetic signals, the Secretary General of the International Telecommunications Union should be contacted and may request in the next ITU weekly circular to minimize terrestrial use of the electromagnetic frequency bands in which the signal was detected. Neither the discoverer nor anyone else should respond to the observed extraterrestrial intelligence. Wow, that's official. So that's the story. So we have some individuals that you contact if you've received some kind of alien contact. Oh, this was the last. This is the WOW signal. So this was a signal that was sent out. It was a radio signal. Oh no, it was received on August 15th, that's my birthday, 1977, by the Ohio State University Big Ear Radio Telescope in the United States, then used to support the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. The signal appeared to come from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius and bore the expected hallmarks of extraterrestrial origin. Astronomer Jerry Eyman discovered the anomaly a few days later while reviewing the recorded data. He was so impressed by the result that he circled the reading on the computer printout. 6EQUJ5 and wrote the comment, "Wow." The entire signal sequence lasted for the full 72-second window, during which Big Ear was able to observe it, but has not been detected since. Despite several subsequent attempts by him and others, many hypotheses have been advanced on the origin of the emission, including natural and human-made sources, but none of them adequately explain the signal. Although the WOW signal has no detectable modulation, a technique used to transmit information over radio waves, it remains the strongest candidate for alien radio transmission ever detected. Well, I'm grateful that I found this because I was wondering if I was going to find anything like this. Now, I wonder if there's any videos. Should we look and see if there's any videos online before we get on to this other? Let me just check for the heck of it. And let's see if there's any WOW signal videos. And that would be very, very cool. Let's see. Well, there's some people that did it. Let's see if we have it. So originally this happened, this WOW signal, in 1977. Let's see if it's on, if there's a video with this man. His name is Jerry Eyman. Let's see if he did a national broadcast. That would be super cool. This is exactly what I was looking for. A real person who said they had this. I see a few, but where's him? Where's the original guy? I don't know. There's a couple. These all look like we're going to have to get, well, should I just pull something up and see? Why not, right? I mean, it seems like Alien Day to me. Mujin's talking about aliens. Now we're talking about radio transmissions from aliens.
That for a while you thought this is
No, that's not it. Let's see if we can find one that looks authentic. Let's see. Bear with me. Thinks he's figured out the mystery.
That was the sound of astronauts in 1969. Tapes just made available from the Apollo 10 mission reveal an eerie experience they had on the dark side of the moon. That's the one furthest away from Earth. NASA says they believe what they heard was radio interference. But now, well, there's a local scientist thinking he's discovered the cause of another great space mystery. That scientist, the director of space programs at Mosey, spoke to the Now's Adam Weiner about his groundbreaking discovery.
Astronomers are always listening into outer space, so imagine you're listening closely for something as quiet as a pin to drop. Bam, you hear something as loud as books slamming on a table. That's what happened in 1977, and take a look at this. This is a copy of the actual notes that this astronomer made back then. You can see he circled the moment that the sound happened, even wrote the words, wow. That moment in scientific history has become so well known that the sound he charted is now known as the wow signal.
And with the use of radio telescopes, even amateur radio telescopes, basically we can sit there and record all these cool sounds. Some of them sound like sonar pings from a submarine. Some of them actually sound like spooky sounds, like a haunted house.
Professor Antonio Paris of the Museum of Science and Industry in Tampa thinks the wow signal has long stumped scientists because they were distracted.
Hi, thanks for joining me.
Everybody's looking for a radio signal from an extraterrestrial source. And I wanted to approach this from a natural phenomenon.
So Professor Paris and his colleagues went back in time, tracking the paths of comets only recently discovered.
With development of...
Oh, we lost that. Sorry about that, guys. Did I lose it now? Oh, goodness. Where'd it go? No, that's good.
Astronomy software, and NASA is using kind of like Wayback Machines to plot where these comets are moving through.
Paris now thinks he knows what the radio telescope was pointing at.
2 comets that were in the very same area during the same time and same date. So, astronomically speaking, when you look at the universe, for these things to all be in the same place, it's 1 in a billion.
His theory was just published for other scientists to study as well. I'm Adam Weiner for The Now, Tampa Bay.
Okay, well, that is not the original wow signal, but that's a little bit of a story about it. And thank you so much, Siri Super 88. You go on the board, you're a follower. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to just say thank you. I really appreciate it. I love the support. I'm just trying to, bring up some interesting topics and also give healing light. And so what we were just talking about was radio transmission to aliens, extraterrestrials, and does that exist? And this apparently is a famous 1977 printout of this. So this must be the radio transmission, and I will further get into that when I read up on it a little bit more. As always, I dig, and so I did dig, and here, this is interesting, and this is before we're going to do a visualization, and then I will get on the topic of angels, because I always talk about angels, because I love angels. And this man right here, his name is George Adamski, and this was in 1952. And he said in 1946 that he had spotted his first UFO. He said it was a large black object similar to a shape of a gigantic, he says it's a dirigible, which I don't even know what that is, and apparently motionless. His next sighting came in August 1947, and this time it wasn't just a single object, but a procession of them, at least 184 by his count. Then in late 1949, at which he said was urging the U.S. military, he attached a camera to a 6-inch telescope and began scanning the skies at every opportunity. Soon he had what he considered 2 good UFO pictures. And I guess this is one of them right here. You can see that. By the end of 1952, the skies over his California home had become a sort of UFO shooting gallery. Adamski estimated he took another 500 flying saucer photos, from which he got a dozen good ones, and he claimed to have provided prints to the Air Force, but he kept the negatives. By now, the newspapers and magazines were publishing Adamski's photos, and he was giving lectures. See, I see these online, and I think that they're just special effects, or, but I guess I should start looking for his photos. It's funny, I had a dream the other night, and it was actually a spaceship, and it was in front of me, and it had lights around it. I don't know. I think because I have so much of my mind is on UAPs and UFOs. I can't decide what to call them because UAPs, some people don't know what that means, and UFOs are outdated now, the name. He was often misidentified as a professional astronomer, but as the genuine astronomer Carl Sagan later noted, the truth was a little more mundane. Adaminsky operated a tiny restaurant in the vicinity and set up a small telescope out back. He had multiple claims to UFO fame starting in the late 1940s. He took countless photos of what he insisted were flying saucers, but experts including J. Allen Hynek, scientific consultant to the Air Force Cold War era UFO investigation team, Project Blue Book, dismissed them as crude fakes. So he was debunked by the authorities, by the government. Then in 1952, Adaminsky reported that he had met and conversed with a visitor from Venus in a California desert using a combination of hand gestures and mental telepathy. His story would only get stranger from there. Adaminsky chronicled his alleged adventures in several books. The first flying saucers have landed in 1953. I have to get these books. He co-authored with Desmond Leslie, recounted his chat with the Venus alien, widely read at the time. It later gained a new generation of fans in the trippy 1960s. In 1955, he had a sequel, Inside the Spaceships, described further meetings not only with the Venusian, but also with emissaries from Mars and Saturn. Adaminsky's telling every planet in our solar system was populated with human-like inhabitants, as was the dark side of the Earth's moon. Wow, it just goes on, and his story goes on and on. But that's fascinating. Here's someone who already, it led back to the days of Roswell and Area 51. He was publicly stating that he saw UFOs. Anything else? I do have more information about UAPs, which I will just get into this for 1 minute, and then we'll go on to a visualization, and I'll discuss angels. So government's UFO report cannot explain aerial phenomenon. Numerous leaked videos have emerged showing strange encounters between U.S. warplanes and warships, and with the most recent showing the USS Omaha being swarmed up to 14 UFOs. Officials have started taking the unprecedented steps of confirming the authenticity of the footage as it grows in the U.S. for widespread disclosure to figure out exactly what, if any, the world's governments are hiding on UFOs. We did have the UFO report released on June 25th, and they basically stated that they couldn't account for some of the encounters and sightings, and they had to do further research, and they had to put together data to come up with an explanation. They're not discounting that they are UFOs, UAPs, extraterrestrial, but they're not saying that they are. They're not confirming. Others, however, are more skeptical and sometimes even dismissive, claiming the bizarre videos may just be a camera's tricks, natural phenomenon, or an outright hoax. So there are people that believe, and there are people that don't believe, and you need confirmation, you need validity, you need examples and evidence. And whatever it is, the messages that I'm receiving from my friends and what I'm reading is that we don't know that anything is hostile or aggressive right now. They might be just seeking information about us, like we are seeking information about them, and maybe they're here to protect humanity. That is my wish. That is my hope. And you know, I do have an example here, which I think I'm going to save, and it's about a man who claims that extraterrestrials haunt and chase him, and I guess I'll talk about that on Monday. So let's get on to energy. Let's get on to light, and let's get on to angels and what exactly is a channeler. And I will pull this up right here. A channeler is a person who conveys thoughts or energy from a source believed to be outside the person's body or conscious mind, an interpreter, and they allow themselves to sense the nonverbal communication from another being, and then the communication with angels comes within a higher consciousness. So overall, 81% of people believe in angels. 77% of Americans believe in angels. Now, I grew up hearing stories of Jesus, and I can't quote the Bible, though I do need to share angels in the Bible and a quote. I looked and I heard the voice of many angels, numbering thousands upon thousands and 10,000s times 10,000. In a Bible interpretation, this is known as a phrase for an indefinitely large number. This explains at least some of those unexplainable events that just shouldn't and couldn't be coincidental. The theological study of angels is known as anthology. Certain religions often depict them as benevolent, celestial intermediaries between God or heaven and humanity. And roles include protectors and guides for humans and servants. Now, I personally have felt divine intervention. I felt, and I believe I've seen in my third eye, angels. And that's why I have this beautiful painting of angels, which I'm going to remind you is called Angels Dancing Sun by Giovanni Di Paolo, an Italian painter. And I love this because the angels are holding hands and they are dancing. I also have a few other paintings which I haven't recently shown you, but I'm going to show you again. And this shows the 9 ranks of angels, and closest to us, which are guardian angels. And start with cherubim and seraphim. And here's also another painting that I love. And these angels are dancing in a circle. And sometimes I see that. I started out by seeing angels in my third eye. I spoke to angels. I was doing a show, Angels, God and Me, and I think my intention was pure and good. And I came up with this concept to stream. And I said, I need guidance and I need a leg up, and I would say, please carry me through this because I need to be brave and strong, and I want to do this stream, and I didn't know how it was going to play out. So I asked the angels, and from there, every morning, I would have a little divine message, and it started with angels in a circle, and they were dancing in a circle. And then eventually they were closer to me and they were reaching out their hand to me. And then it looked like at some point divine energy was coming down from the sky towards me with light. And from that, I've basically connected to light on the horizon. And I see light on the horizon, which really is significant because to me, I see this beautiful skyline, this horizon, and I see the sun coming up from the horizon, and it's the sunrise, and there's beautiful orange and yellows, and they're vibrant, and it's breathtaking, and there's water, and there's the lights glistening on the water, and there's waves, and it's beautiful. It has the elements of nature. And I've had the gift to have that vision in my dreams, and I've visited sunrises in the last year many, many times, as well as sunsets. And those visits and those reminders give me hope to tomorrow, and tell me that tomorrow or even today is full of possibilities and hope. And I'm telling you, and I'm sharing with you, that part of my message here in doing this is to share with you that I'm telling you that there's hope and there's light, and our dreams can come true, and it's about having a higher consciousness, and it's about having a higher vibration. And when you connect to light, darkness has to leave. There's no place for it. And negativity, there's no place for it. So when I speak of this, I really truly mean that I'm coming from a place of love and hope and compassion, and I'm sending that to you, and I'm hoping that you embrace it and accept it and know that it's possible for you as well. I've mentioned earlier about a grand awakening, and maybe it's something like a come to Jesus moment, or even beyond that, it's your ascension to a higher consciousness. And a higher consciousness is really becoming your truest self. It's owning exactly who you are fully. So you're engaging and you're connecting to your own light and your hope that you carry in your spirit. And when you connect to that, anything is possible, and all your dreams are possible, and you just step right into it. You have no doubt, and you take away any of the old themes and old energies from the past, and you let go of that, and you leave that behind, and you move towards the light. And when you embrace the light, and you fully allow your body and your mind and your spirit to connect to the light, you feel happier, and you feel more full of grace and more full of goodness. And instead of wishing people negativity, like I say, leave a situation in a better place and more hope, and allow others to find their way. I'm not saying that this is it, that I'm giving this as a suggestion. I'm not saying that you have to do this. I'm just saying that there are powers beyond us that are operating in the universe and in nature. And there is an energetic flow going through nature that connects me to you, that connects us to the sunrise, to the water, to every plant and animal. And so when we're kind to everything else, every other living being, we're really being kind to ourselves. And more blessings will come your way. So I wanted to share with you, I also found that there's actually an angelic language. And this actually looks like, and there's many of these online, and it's like an angelic alphabet, as you can see. So each of these spell, you can spell words with this, and apparently it's a celestial or angelic written language. Now, the other day on Monday I had a stream, and I spoke about angels, and I kind of summed up similar to what I'm telling you, what I'm explaining to you now, and I gave suggestions. And my suggestion was to ask, it's always ask for light, ask for your angels. And angels are immortal beings, and they're non-gender, and they travel from the heavens to earth, and they protect humanity, and they guide us, and they're messengers. I also spoke about some some statements that are in the Bible basically say facts. Well, I said statements, but they're facts in the Bible that angels were created by God, angels were created to live for eternity, and they are immortal. They're immortal beings. They're infinite, and they're beings of light. And I just like to touch on this because I don't really know where else that we found out about angels except from the Bible. And I know that there was painters long ago, you know, like this painter. I don't know what year this painting is, but this was an Italian painter, and he painted this. And I know that there's paintings of angels throughout history. And I wonder if people had visions of angels, and that's where this came from, or did it come from the Bible? I don't know. I should do more research about that. But I did want to bring up the Bible because that is a location that angels are mentioned. And it also seems to say that angels seem to have the ability to fly. They have the ability to exercise their own will, and they're Christ's servants. And they send us joy. I believe angels send us joy. This looks to be like an archangel, and archangels are the warriors of all angels. And that's about all I'd like to say about that today, but I wanted to mention that. And I always speak about sacred knowledge, and what is that? That is because the fact that I'm empathic and I have abilities, you know, I'm intuitive, I can sometimes connect without realizing it to other realms, and or actually, like as Mujin mentioned earlier, people have entities attached to them, so entities will sense that I am aware. I can see them in my third eye, and so I had to learn ways to release negativity. And so I say sacred knowledge, and sacred knowledge is light, nature, and dreams. And I stand by that because I know it's changed me. And we're going to do a visualization. And one of the reasons why I do visualizations is because during the last 18 months during COVID, I would sometimes wake up and I would have this darkness that would come over me, and I just really didn't know where it was coming from. And it might have been because of all the energies out in the world and the pain and the struggle that was going on. And so I had to come up with my own technique to kind of get rid of that. And so I discovered to bring light into my mind and my heart by visualizing a ball of light in my brain. It helped to take it away. And to move on from that concept, I say to connect to light. So you can connect to light through a sunrise, a sunset, and you can ask for light to come into your being. And then I say, connect, engage with nature. And nature, I mean the beauty of our universe, the four elements, air, earth, fire, and water. Go to a body of water. Spend time by a tree in a forest or woods, you know, like I just said, a sunrise or a sunset, but connect to nature. Just turn off technology and spend time in nature, 5 to 15 minutes a day. Everything has energy, and the energy in nature is good for you. It's good for you. It's good for your heart, and it's good for your soul. And then the last but not least, I say, record your sleeping dreams. If you can't remember your dreams, I say, before you go to sleep, ask for you to remember your dreams. Say, I'd like to remember my dreams. And I believe within 7 to 10 days, you will remember your sleeping dreams. And when you remember your sleeping dreams, you are getting guidance from your unconscious, your spirit, your soul, on the direction that you should be taking for your truest potential and destiny. And so I stick with sacred knowledge, light, nature, and dreams. So let's do a visualization before we go today. We will create vivid mental images in our mind's eye, bringing positive emotions such as joy, happiness, and hope. Blessings. Our intention today is to gain strength. Your self-acceptance visualization begins now. Now I'd like you to find a quiet space, sit or lay down comfortably. Now close your eyes, and we're going to release all thoughts before this moment, and we're going to let them go. Breathe them out, and we're going to inhale and exhale deeply 3 times together. Now I'd like you to scan your body from the top of your head, your crown chakra, to the tip of your toes for any stress or tension that you have in your body. So let's let go together of any old energy, and let's breathe in fresh, beautiful air. Now I'd like you to imagine that you see a stream of spinning light. And this spinning light, this band, this beautiful spinning light is surrounding your being. This band spans a foot wide. And as it spins around you, its glistening, vibrant, and powerful sparks spin around your body clockwise. And you sense that this band is bringing you peace, and you embrace this band of light. And this band of light is pure goodness. And it's going to spin around your body, your being, 3 times. It feels like home. It feels peaceful. It feels pure, and it's comforting. And I will count 3 times, and this band of spinning whitish light will spin clockwise 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And as this band spins, you release any anger or fear, negativity, sadness, or hurt from your being, and you just let it go. And as you let it go, you feel it's being replaced by goodness and purity and hope. Now this band, this beautiful, brilliant, whitish light spins counterclockwise 3 times around your body. And as it spins, sparks of light touch you, and you embrace them. And I will count for you. As it spins, 1, 2, 3. The band of light expands, moving towards you, and feelings of excitement and hope as the light engulfs you. An emotion comes over you. It's real, no longer a fantasy of dreams, and you know now that your desires are happening. Everything that you wanted in your life is true. It's true now, in this moment. You are becoming your truest, bestest version. You've accepted yourself, and the light offers you happiness and love. As the light embraces every pore, cell, organ, bone, and flesh of your being, It moves through your body, and the light joins together in your center, and your spirit awakens. Your heart and brain connect, and your spirit gains strength. The past is gone. It's left you. You let out a sigh. You're ready to forgive everyone that you've hurt, and you're ready to send forgiveness and light to everyone you come in contact with. The awareness of who you are and the choices before you. The light becomes a ball of light remaining in the left side of your being, in your chest, in your heart. And joy and grace and peace consume your emotions. I'd like you to stay in that moment so you can remember this. And you leave that light in your being. And I will count backwards to 3 and you will open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. I hope that helped relax you. And like I said, this isn't for everyone. Maybe this will be a little spark that will grow and grow and grow inside your being. And you will feel hope and happiness and abundance in your life. Because that is exactly what I wish for you. I want that for you. And I know when I have light in my heart, you have light in your heart, and I'm sharing it with you. Before we go, I just want to remind you that I have a guest coming. Next week, I have Shaman Randy Marks, and she will be joining us next week. And we will be streaming on Monday and Thursdays, as usual, from 2 to 4. I'm from New York, and I appreciate you being here. Everything you say, think, and do designs your future. Fear, negative thoughts will become darkness in your life, attracting unhappiness in people, places, relationships, and career. Let's create only positive thoughts. I thank you for joining me. If you'd like to reach me, you can find me on MaryAmyOfficial.com, my Facebook, Mary Amy Official, Instagram, and my YouTube. The stream stays up for 2 weeks. And then I put clips, but you can always find my streams on my YouTube channel. I hope today was interesting with our guest Mujin Choi, who's a telepathic healer, and his stories of meeting aliens and his healings all across the United States. And also the fact that we touched on angels and we touched on alien contact via the radio, which we'll get into again another day. My blessings to you in honor of my Scottish grandmother, Lucille. Lang me your lum reek, which means I wish you good luck and good fortune in the future. And I'm sending out light to you, and I love you, and I wish you well. You can always find me on my Instagram and my Facebook. I post regularly. I post beach scenes because I live across the street from the beach. And again, thank you for joining me. And goodbye, be well. And again, we have a guest next week, Randy Marks, a shaman. So I hope you join us on Monday and Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Be well, sending love, bye.